Hi, Sophie here, taking you through an express floor workout today. What you're going to need is a mat, a ball. I've got a set of 2.5 kilo dumbbells and a single 5 kilo dumbbell. Now, as always, you can go lighter or heavier depending on your fitness level. Make sure you're all warmed up. Let's go. Lie down on your back and bring your weights with you. Position your feet so that they're hip width apart, and your knees need to stay in line with your feet. Take hold of the weights with the palms facing forward, and we'll begin with a combination movement of a chest press and a shoulder bridge or a hip thrust. So this movement works through the chest and the shoulders, bringing the weights together as you rise at the top and the elbows rest back into the floor on the way down. You're pressing through your heels to work through the glutes, through your bottom and your hamstrings. And we're also challenging your stability, not only through the pelvis, but through the core muscles. This is a really strong exercise. So it's important not to go too heavy with the weights so that you can maintain your stability. Next exercise, you'll need your larger weight. So still laying down on your back, and I'm just going to place the weight on my pelvis, on my hips, wherever it feels comfortable, and I'm just going to support it with my hands. And we continue with that bridge movement, that hip thrust. So the weight is still pressing into the heels. We've added extra weight with the 5 kilo dumbbell to challenge the hamstrings and the buttocks a little bit more. We're doing about 12 repetitions of each exercise. Make sure you keep breathing and engaging through your core. Next move, we take our ball, and you're going to place the ball underneath your calf muscles, but make sure the ball is touching the backs of your thighs. Placing your hands behind your head, and make sure your tailbone stays glued to the floor as you do a little abdominal curl. Now, when you do this abdominal curl, you want to make sure your shoulder blades come up off the floor. Try and exhale as you come forward. Inhale as you rest back down. And you're also trying to get this sensation of shortening the distance between your ribs and your hips as you come forward. The ball stays super still, and trying to get those shoulder blades right up off the ground. Now on this next one, you're going to stay forward, you're going to reach your hands forward, and just little pulses of the arms. Try not to move any other part of the body, just the arms up and down, and rest. Next exercise, you're going to place your feet on the ball. One foot hovers off the ball. You'll bring your head and shoulders and your arms forward, and you're going to start to roll the ball out and in with that one foot, keeping the opposite knee above your hip line, and make sure your back doesn't arch as you extend that leg. Just do about 6 on each side. Change legs, rolling the ball with control out and in. And you really want to actively reach your arms forward so that you keep your shoulder blades up off the ground. Last one, and rest. Moving on to our next exercise, which is push-ups. I'm going to be doing my push-ups over the ball, but you have the option to either do your push-ups on your knees or your toes on the floor. You can also do them standing up against the wall as well. Now, when you come over the ball, just be careful that you don't come too far, that your body kind of dips or sways in the middle like this. You want to make sure you stay strong and stiff as a board. So I'm drawing my navel to my spine. The elbows are not quite 90 degrees, they're a bit more of a 45-degree angle. Breathe in as you come down and out as you push away from the floor. That should help you with a little bit more power. This is as much an abdominal workout as it is chest and arms. Just watch that you don't drift backwards like I did there. You want to stay chest above your hands to keep correct technique and format there. They do get strong after a while, those. Now our next move, our final move in this little sequence, we position ourselves so that your pelvis is on the ball, you're lifted through your chest, and my core muscles are still drawing in. I'm going to reach opposite arm to leg, getting a bit of back extension. So this is working through the upper back, shoulders, and also through the lower back and hamstrings. You want to avoid feeling pain in your back as you do this. It's more of an extension as opposed to an arch through the spine. So I do have a natural curve through my spine there, but just make sure that you don't get an excessive arch through your lower back. Keep the movements as long as you can. Woo. You can have a little rest as long as you like. You can pause the video, but we're going to head back to the beginning now. So 12 repetitions of our chest press and shoulder bridge with your elbows wide, palms facing forward, feet hip width apart. We lift the bottom and the arms up towards the ceiling. Press through the chest, lift through the hips. Keep as steady and as balanced through your body as you can. Use your breathing. So you try and breathe out on the exertion phase of the exercise. As I mentioned in the push-ups, that gives you more power. Last 2 to go. And you can place those lighter weights down, take hold of your heavier weight, place it on the pelvis, and away we go with your hip thrusters, your shoulder bridge. Pressing the weight through your heels to activate through your glutes, your buttocks, hamstrings, the backs of the thighs are working here as well. Making sure your hips come up above your rib cage. So you don't want to get an arch through the spine. You want to keep the spine fairly straight as you lift up. And that'll help to keep your core muscles engaged as well. Last one. Place that weight down, swap it for your ball. Ball goes underneath the calf muscles. Bring it in nice and close so it touches the backs of your thighs. That'll help to protect your lower back. Hands come behind your head and exhale as you curl forward. Keeping the elbows as open as possible. You don't want to squeeze them in next to your ears and pull on the head. Really utilizing the upper abdominals to help you come forward, to help you get that height of the shoulder blades up off the floor. Ball stays still. And you've just got 3 more to go before your pulses. 2. Hold this one forward, reach your arms and pulsing those arms up and down. 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Excellent. Place the feet onto the ball. 1 foot hovers off the ball. Head and shoulders come forward. You can either keep your hands behind your head or reach them forward like I am. As you roll the ball out and in 6 times with 1 foot. And then you can change legs. Other side 6 times. Away we go. Now, if you do start to feel your neck and shoulders here, you can always rest the head back down and just do the roll out and in movement with the legs. Just makes it a little bit more challenging when you reach the head and shoulders forward. Flip over for your push-ups. Remember your options. You can go without the ball, just go on the floor on your knees, your toes, or you can stand up and use that wall to make it a little bit easier. Position the hands so they're underneath your chest, lock on solid through your core, and we go down and up. Now I like to have my feet, my legs about hip width apart on the ball, but if you want to challenge your balance a little bit more, you can try legs together. And we're at that halfway mark now, just 5 more to go. 5, breathe. 4, you can do it. 3, last 2, I'm starting to get shaky now. And last 1. Superb. Time for your back extension now. So I keep referring to the word extension because that's what we want to try and achieve with this one is length, not height. So if you position yourself too far forward over the ball, I'm going to get my bottom's going to be higher than my chest. We want to make sure that your chest is higher than your bottom. So core muscles are drawing in, slight little tuck under the pelvis if you're a bit more curved like I am in the lower back. And we're going to reach opposite arm to leg, and notice my arm doesn't go higher than my shoulder and my leg doesn't go higher than my bottom. And that's as far as you need to go to feel this one. Reaching through the fingertips and toes. We're halfway there. Now with your eye line, if you look too far forward, you're going to arch through the back of the neck. So to keep the neck nice and long, I kind of look just forward of my hands, but still towards the floor. Done. We're up to our third and final set now. So moving onto your back with those weights, positioning your feet hip width apart, palms facing forward, ready for your chest press and shoulder bridge. Now perhaps if you've done this video once or twice before, you may want to go for this little optional extra. Instead of the chest press, you could try a chest fly. So this is where your palms face each other and you'll open your arms out to the sides. Your arms aren't completely straight. There's like a micro bend in the elbows. Just bear in mind that when you do change to the fly exercise, it does challenge your balance, your stability a lot more, and can put a lot more strain in the shoulders. So if that does become uncomfortable, just go back to the chest press. And we'll swap over to our bigger weight, placing it on the hips, steady it with your hands, engage the core and lift through those hips. Now for this final round, pay more attention to the position of the knees. Quite often, depending on where your strengths and weaknesses are, the knees can either roll in towards each other or splay out to the sides. So you want to just make sure they stay in line with the hips or in line with the feet. And they're not going too wide or squeezing in together. And that'll just help you to use the right muscle groups. Swapping over to your ball, we are almost done. Tuck that ball in right underneath the thighs, hands behind the head. Exhale as you come forward for 12. Now let's focus on keeping the tailbone glued to the floor so your ball stays nice and still. Stability through the lower part of the pelvis, and it's the upper torso that you're trying to lift up off the floor. Ribs towards your hips. Use your breath out. And we've just got 5 more before we've got those pulses. Give me 4. And 3. I know it's hard, but smile if you can. 2. Holding the next one forward, you're going to reach your hands and little pulses up and down. Squeeze underneath the armpits. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Nice job. Place the feet on the ball, hover one foot. Head and shoulders comes forward. Remember, you can keep hands behind the head. I prefer to reach them forward. So I'm actively thinking of reaching the hands forward to keep my shoulder blades up off the floor as that ball rolls out and in. Change legs. 6 more. 6. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Final set of push-ups. With your push-ups, if you're feeling a little bit fatigued, I'm going to show you, you don't have to come all the way over the ball. You can just come to perhaps your belly button. Makes it a little bit easier when you don't have as much of your body weight off the ball. If you're feeling like a challenge though, bring yourself out to your shins or your feet. And that's not for me today. I'm going to head back to where I still feel challenged, but at least I can complete all 12 with good form. This is a great way to gauge how strong you're getting in a particular exercise. If you were able to do the last 2 sets of 12 really comfortably, really easy, without struggling towards the end, getting shaky, then perhaps you do want to walk out further. But if you struggled from the start, then just go back a little bit and progress from there. And last 3 to go. 2. You can do it. Last one. And roll back off that ball. Ready for your back extensions. Final exercise. So position yourself with the ball under the pelvis, lift through the chest on your fingertips, core muscles drawing in, and just watch that your shoulders don't hunch up near your ears. You want to keep that chest open and reaching opposite arm to leg. Now, a fun challenge for this one is to try doing the same arm and same leg. I find it a real challenge for my balance. I'm much more balanced when I do the opposite sides, but everyone's different. So see what you find more challenging and perhaps give that a go. Final 4, 3, 2, and 1. Workout done. And you can flop over that ball, well deserved. A couple of other stretches you can hold for about 10 to 15 seconds each. This is like a child's pose, sitting your bottom back to the heels, reaching hands forward. Hamstring stretch, 1 foot on the ball, 1 leg up to the sky. Relax your shoulders. You can extend the opposite leg to make it stronger. And then a figure 4 stretch for your glutes, for your bottom, placing 1 ankle over the opposite knee. And to make it stronger, you can reach through the gap in your legs and pull that shin or thigh in towards you. Make sure you do both sides. When you're doing your hamstring stretch, you can try flexing and pointing through the toes. And that glute stretch again. Try and keep your tailbone, your bottom, down on the ground when you do this one. And our final stretch, we're going to move on to a spine twist, placing your calf muscles back on the ball, arms are out level with your shoulders, and just allow the ball to gently go from side to side. I'd like to thank you so much for working out with me today. See you next time.